efforts. And I also extend my thanks to the Republic of Niger for its excellent chairmanship of the previous session of our Council. I should seize this opportunity to hail the efforts made by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the chair of the Islamic Summit. I extend my thanks to Mr. Hussein Ibrahim Taha, the OIC Secretary General, for providing support to Arab states to further enhance the organization. Highnesses, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the holding of this meeting under the motto of building partnerships reaffirms our need as an Islamic group more than ever, our need for having a joint confrontation of the challenges that we are facing as a result of the serious rapid changes in the world and the need to contain them in order to promote peace and security in the world and in our Islamic and Arab region in particular. Our organization has a weight and needs a joint position in order to address the various international and regional issues on the basis of the principles and the values that bring us together and which we share. These require an urgent solution to all the causes on the basis of the same international standards. The Arab group reiterates the need to identify a political settlement to all the crises witnessed in our region and to make our voice heard and defend our causes in the international arena. This will deal with all the attempts that aim to destabilize our countries. The joint ties between us and our commitment to the values of justice require that we need to fulfill our responsibility to the Palestinian people to end the daily Israeli violation of the rights of Palestinians and the promotion of the settlement policies that will reduce the possibility of a peace and reduce tension in the region. The Palestinian cause is at the forefront of our concerns. We call for a resumption of the peace process and the settlement of the issue on the basis of international resolutions and on the basis of the Arab and Islamic position. The same applies to Jammu Kashmir. Here, we need to implement all the international resolutions. It is a just course, and there is no doubt about that. The same applies to Yemen, and here we call on Yemen to go for a dialogue to settle the issue. We thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the valuable efforts in this regard. Terrorism and violent extremism are a common enemy that destabilize our countries. This requires further vigilance and more effective coordination and cooperation in order to use the preventive measures and to adopt new approaches to face this scourge and the trans-border organized crime, such as illegal migration and trafficking in humans. On the other hand, we need to adopt modern digital communication means to face Islamophobia and the discourse of hatred and extremism. And we need to work together to promote the discourse of tolerance and the acceptance of the other. We need further cooperation among the various partners to convince others about the just cause of our causes and to promote the principles of understanding on the basis of the peaceful cohabitation between peoples. Highnesses, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, reinforcing peace and security in our Islamic region in the face of the exceptional challenges such as COVID-19, And in order to be able to deal with the Ukrainian issue, all of this requires further partnership at the economic and developmental levels. Our Arab financial institutions need to make more contributions, and the same applies to specialized organizations working in these areas. The aim is to achieve the set objectives, to promote trade in the Islamic world, and to activate tourism. And we need further initiatives to promote our economies, such as the OIC investment initiative. In this, we rely on the cooperation between the private and public sectors in order to benefit from our abilities as men and women, and the use of all the available resources to promote innovation in the various critical sectors that enable us to be part of the world economy. Mr. Chairman, Highnesses, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our determination is firm to contribute to a modern reformist policy of our organization that will enable us to upgrade its role in order to consolidate cooperation among member states. The aim is to achieve dynamics in the various parts of the organization in its economic, political, and development roles. We believe that the challenges we are facing at the moment require consolidating cooperation and consultation. The OIC and the League of Arab States, and we need to open up to other organizations in our region with a view to mobilizing more support to our causes in the international arena on the basis of the principles of the UN Charter and co-living with a view to a world that is more just and prosperous. May Allah make us succeed in our endeavor. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Excellency, for your inspiring statement. I now request His Excellency, Mr. Zubair Dada, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Nigeria, to make his speech. He will speak on behalf of the Africa Group of the OIC member states.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Your Excellency, Mr. Imran Khan, Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Your Excellency Makhdoom Shah Mahmood Qureshi, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan and Chairman of this session, Your Royal Highness, the Foreign Minister of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Honorable Ministers, Your Excellency Ambassador Hussein Brahim Taha, the Secretary General, distinguished delegates and other invited guests, gentlemen of the press. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is for me indeed a great honor and privilege to speak today on behalf of the African Group on the occasion of the 48th session of the Council of Foreign Ministers of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, holding in this beautiful city of Islamabad. We are indeed humbled by this singular honor. Let me at the outset convey the sincere appreciation of my delegation and that of the entire African Group to the government and the people of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan for the warm reception and generous hospitality. And we also thank them for the excellent facilities that have been put at our disposal for the success of our meeting. We wish to congratulate the good people of Pakistan on the celebration of the 75th anniversary of independence of Pakistan. We wish you more peace and prosperity. Permit me also to congratulate you, Mr. Chairman, for your unanimous election to steer the proceedings of this session. And in the same vein, I wish to commend the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Brotherly Republic of Niger for the numerous accomplishments during his chairmanship of the previous session. I further take this opportunity to welcome on board our new Secretary General, Ambassador Taha, and to assure him of our full support and a fruitful and successful tenure at the helms of our common organization. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, the 48th session of family is taking place at a crucial moment in the history of our organization. The huge socio-economic and humanitarian challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, coupled with the rising wave of political and security crises in parts of our member states, call for our concerted efforts and joint action for durable solutions. It is obvious that our immediate preoccupation should be directed towards fashioning and implementing a robust post-COVID-19 recovery plan to respond to the needs of our people. And to this end, we reiterate our support for the commendable endeavors of the OIC aimed at addressing the various conflict situations and flashpoints, particularly in Africa. The menace of terrorism, insurgency, banditry, small arms and light weapons, human and drug trafficking have continued to militate against the peace, security, stability, human rights, social cohesion, and indeed the economic development of the entire African region. And this is why we welcome the choice of the theme of this session, which is Partnership for Unity, Justice, and Development, which we consider very apt and indeed very relevant. We believe that the 48th session will do justice not only to the numerous issues on this agenda, but also adopt appropriate and implementable resolutions to address our common and pressing challenges and fast-track recovery in our member states from the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Chairman, for the past 12 years, Nigeria and indeed the Lake Chad basin countries have continued to suffer from brutal acts of terrorism led by Boko Haram and lately ISWAP. The activities of these enemies of peace, unity and progress and development have created a very serious humanitarian crisis in our region. In Nigeria alone, we have over 3 million people that are displaced and are living in IDP camps. In Burkina Faso, we have about 2 million people that are also living in IDP camps. The OIC must not abandon these people. They are in dire need of your assistance, and that is why Nigeria has proposed a new draft resolution on this subject for your kind consideration and adoption. And we hope that the OIC will extend its full solidarity to these people with a view to alleviating their plight. Furthermore, a robust implementation of the relevant OIC resolutions on combating the Boko Haram and other terrorist groups in West and Central Africa, and indeed some parts of Southern Africa, and support for the operations of the G5 Sahel Joint Force will significantly assist the ongoing national and sub-regional efforts towards addressing these lingering security problems in our sub-region. This measure would, if of necessity, also include the comprehensive review and execution of the OIC Code of Conduct on Combating International Terrorism, 1994, and the OIC Convention on Combating Terrorism. We further urge for concrete collaboration and partnership with the national agencies of the member states, including the Saudi-led Islamic Military Counterterrorism Coalition, in order to stamp out this menace that is facing our countries. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, beyond the active measures needed to counter terrorism in our region, the mobilization of funds for the various national social and humanitarian actions are crucial to the rehabilitation and radicalization efforts in the affected countries. Equally significant is the need to address the economic root causes of insecurity in the African region. In this regard, the implementation of the OIC resolution on the recharge of the Lake Chad, which has lost over 80% of its water, would contribute to the restoration of the various communities in the Lake Chad Basin and return millions of people to their lost livelihoods. Similarly, it is our conviction that the agenda of OIC on peace and security can best succeed if we establish meaningful partnership with the United Nations, the African Union, and other sub-regional groupings in Africa on conflict prevention, conciliation, mediation, and peace building, as well as the promotion of good governance and democracy. And closely related to this is the need for granting debt remission and relief for our countries, especially the least developed countries that represent more than 1/3 of the OIC membership. Mr. Chairman, poverty remains one of the major challenges confronting Africa, and the pandemic has sadly further aggravated the situation. To create a better and more sustainable future for our people, strengthening intra-OIC cooperation to harness the enormous resources and potentials within our member states.
ग्रुप की नुमाइंदगी मेरे लिए बाइस फ़ख्र है। नाइजीरिया के वज़ीर ख़ारजा इस वक्त खिताब कर रहे हैं OIC के इजलास से। वक्त हो गया एक ब्रेक का, साथ रहिएगा।
जिसमें ऑलिव एंटीऑक्सीडेंट्स के साथ 8 खूबियों से बना है कैनोलिव ऑक्टाफ्लो, जो कम ऑयल में भी दे ज्यादा सेहत और ज्यादा टेस्ट। तो अब बेशक खाने में डालो कम तेल, क्योंकि सेहत पर अब नो समझौता। कैनोलिव